to the Tibetan people. This including not only suppression on civil and political rights, religion freedom, and cultural genocide, but also economic exploitation of millions of Tibetans. Today, I want to highlight the economic exploitation on three levels: land seizure, plundering of resources, and labor exploration. I hope that discussing of these issues may provide a new perspective for finding a way out for the Tibetan people. Since the occupation of the Tibet, the CCP carried out 2 rounds of the looting of Tibetan land and resources. The first round was from the 1950s to early 1980s. The second round is from the 2000 to present. In the 1950s, in the name of land reform, the CCP confiscated the land traditionally used by Tibetans for farming and grazing, forcing farmers and nomads to join communes. The combined economic led to long-term poverty and famine among the Tibetan farmers and nomads. The Tibetan land was used by CCP as military bases, third land factories, forests, and agricultural farmers to exploit the resources in Tibet. The second round of the land decision in Tibet started around 2000 and is still ongoing. The implementation is the name of relocation and resettlement, national parks, boarding village, poverty elevation. The land grabbing goes hand in hand with the planting of nature resources, including grassland, forest, and water resources. Industrialization and urbanization have not benefited the Tibetan people, but turned Tibetan into vital sources for the supply chain of the world factory that China has presented itself to be. Many companies and politicians in the West have been complicit in this process. Over the past 20 years, the CCP has driven more than 2 million Tibetan farmers and nomads out of their land. Some of them have become unemployed, while the others have become cheap labor in the gig economy. Since Tibetans are forced to use Chinese in both education and work, not only are they at the disadvantage in finding a job, but even Tibetans with the same high skill levels are paid only 1/3 of their wages of the Han Chinese worker. This is one of the reasons why the proportion of the Tibetan living in poverty is much higher than that of the Chinese. Workers in the gig economic inevitable subject to further exploitation due to their scattered and disorganized status. Only by the developing independent labor organization can Tibetan workers protect their rights. Under the CCP tight control, it's very difficult for Tibetans in Tibet to form an independent trade union, and this is where the Tibetan Excel can play very important role. There are a lot we can learn from the experience of the workers' organization in other countries, including the UK and Ireland, to build a broad alliance with the international labor movement. Last November, the White Paper movement erupted in China, a number of Tibetan students and workers, especially women, have been actively involved. From what we know so far, Tibetan students and workers who are still in detention are all women. This is similar to the situation of the Chinese participation. The most of those arrested were also women. Women are leading this new round of the movement. The white paper movement has provided an opportunity for Tibetans and the Chinese to fight together against the tyranny of the Chinese Communist Party, to fight for our freedom, shoulder to shoulder. Thank you very much.